Watch a child practice a jump shot. If the ball hits the rim and bounces away, a good coach ignores the frustration and focuses on the specific distance of the miss. Too far left, too short. This distance provides the raw data for the next attempt. In this context, a mistake is a measurement, the essential information required to improve. This reveals the mechanical logic behind artificial intelligence. Machines process mistakes without the weight of failure, but they face a different challenge: how to use that data without simply memorizing it. In his AI Mathematics Ladder series, Ravindra Nayak uses these everyday experiences to explain how learning systems are built. He maps out complex concepts in a sequence of logical, manageable steps. By following this ladder, the abstract formulas of AI begin to resemble the same structured trial and error we use in our own lives. Consider a shopkeeper at a village market using a balance scale. To know if their guess is accurate, they need the weights to provide a physical correction. In machine learning, the mathematical gap between a system's guess and the actual truth is called loss. The process follows a repeating rhythm. The model makes a prediction, checks it against the target, measures the gap, and adjusts its internal settings to reduce that distance. However, this measurement determines the system's entire behavior. If a delivery algorithm is instructed only to reduce the loss on travel time, it may optimize for speed at the expense of safety. Ultimately, the loss function acts as a set of priorities. Whatever a system is programmed to measure is exactly what it will chase. In a village bakery, an apprentice spends weeks practicing a single loaf of bread for one specific regular customer. He masters the exact cardamom levels and the precise crust thickness that this one individual prefers. But on Friday, a new customer arrives, asking for a lighter, softer loaf. The apprentice has no idea how to proceed. He didn't actually learn how to bake bread. He only memorized the specific traits of one person. Mathematicians call this specific failure overfitting. When an AI model tracks past data too perfectly, it traces every fluke and accident in the training set. It treats the noise of the past as an absolute rule for the future. The model scores perfectly in the practice room, but it fails when it encounters brand new data. This creates an illusion of success. In reality, a system that relies on pure memorization has lost its ability to adapt. Consider a garden after a heavy monsoon. Vines twist wildly in every direction, stealing light and growing thick leaves, but they fail to produce any fruit. A gardener removes the excess. By snipping away tangles, they ensure resources reach the fruit instead of being wasted on chaotic growth. This process of intentional restraint is called regularization. Regularization penalizes the machine for unnecessary complexity. It forces the model to ignore the small, noisy details so it can find an elegant curve that represents the bigger picture. Intelligence requires these strict boundaries. Without them, a system becomes a prisoner to the accidents of its own history. On a library table sit two maps of the same village. One includes every pebble, every crack in the road, and the exact shadows of the trees. The other is a simplified outline. The hyper-detailed map is impressive to look at, but if the wind blows a leaf or the sun moves, the map is suddenly wrong. The simplified map remains useful because it focuses only on the durable features. A good map forgets wisely. This ability for learning to survive outside the original examples is called generalization. Generalization is the ultimate test. It determines whether a model has actually understood a pattern or just memorized a specific moment in time. In both mapping and machine learning, the goal is to identify what can be safely left behind. This completes the cycle of learning, measuring the gap with loss, pruning the noise with regularization, and testing the result with generalization. We see it on the basketball court. The player who used their misses to refine their form can now adapt to a dynamic game, sinking a shot while being guarded by a defender they've never met. True understanding is the opposite of a rigid memory. It is the capacity to take a lesson from one room and apply it to another. Real intelligence is defined by how it behaves when it faces something it has never seen before.